Hello there, and welcome to the Talk Football Podcast. This is TFP #2, and this is the new format, as you saw on the first pod. We hope you're enjoying it. And today we're talking about major transfers, confirmed transfers at that. But we have an important message to start us off.
So today we learned of the sad passing of Diogo Jota and his brother, who sadly were killed in a car crash in northern Spain. We'd like to extend our sincere condolences to his family, his friends, and all his colleagues at Liverpool and all the fans at Liverpool FC. So yes, RIP Diogo, very sad news indeed. At a later date, we are going to put together a short compilation of some of his best goals from his days at Wolves and Liverpool. We hope you enjoy that when we do put that up as a small short. And now we'll carry on with the show.
Yeah, rest in peace, Jota. Rest in peace. Right, so
we're going to be talking, major transfers, major confirmed transfers. So we're not going to cover like every transfer, but we'll pick it up on I've got a sheet with the major transfers. So we're talking stuff like in around sort of like the 20 to 30 upwards million mark.
Yeah,
and I'm going to be a little bit selfish, and I'm going to start off with my club.
Of course you do.
And it won't be extensively Premier League. There's a few in there that actually relate to where players are maybe leaving the Premier League, etc., and going off elsewhere. So we're going to start with Esteval Willian. Now, this is a player we signed a while ago, but we left him at Palmeiras. Ironically, Chelsea are playing Palmeiras in the next round of the Club World Cup. So I don't know whether or not he's going to be able to play in that. We'll find out. But yeah, so it's around we're paying around about 29 million for him. Next on that, we have Liam Delap, which we signed from Ipswich, 30 million, which we met the release clause for that. And then confirmed as well is João Pedro from Brighton in a fee which will go up to around about 60 million.
And I think that's a great signing that.
Potentially. I know that the Chelsea fan base is a little bit split on it, but the proof will be in the pudding. I mean, he can play anywhere across the front line, can play as a 9, false 9, dropping as a 10, and he can play wide. So I think it's a sensible signing. I know we've signed a lot of players.
And he's got a bit of Jesus in him a little bit when Jesus was at his best.
Yeah, I think that. I mean, he has a touch of that Brazilian flair, but I also think he has that little bit of nastiness about him, which obviously suits the Premier League and the fact that he's Premier League ready because obviously, being at Brighton. So, so that's that one. And those three, I think all of those are good signings for us. One that was a little bit caught my interest because he's following in his brother's footsteps, which is Joe Bellingham. Has gone from Sunderland to Borussia. I think that's around about the 27 to 29 million mark. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see if he can follow in the footsteps of Jude.
Well, speaking of him, he could have been playing against his brother, but he got a second yellow, so he's missing the next game.
Oh, there we go.
Real Madrid, yeah. So there's no brother versus brother.
No, that would have been an interesting thing. But I think I know there was some criticism about his stats. I think people read too much into stats sometimes. And he's already started well, and he's already got a goal for Dortmund, so he's already had a really good start. So that's an interesting one. Next one, involves Sunderland, which is Habib Diarra. It's not a player I'm really particularly familiar of, but Sunderland have signed him from Strasbourg for £27 million. So I can't really say too much on that, other than that's a done deal. Then we're going to move on to this one, which is Matheus Cunha. So Man United have bought him from Wolves. They met the release clause, which was around about £62 million. What do you think on that one? I'm me personally, I'm not quite sure where he fits.
No, I don't think he's
not a 9. He's not an out-and-out 9. He's kind of more of a false 9/10, I think, really.
Yeah.
I think he's better when he plays just
himself.
Yeah, I think so, because he kind of like, I think the last fair few games of the season, he kind of played off of Strand Larsen. And with Strand Larsen as the target man. So I'm not really quite sure how that's going to work, whether he's going to play in behind Højlund, whether or not United are going to sign another 9. We don't know. Lots of rumours about the likes of Gyökeres and him, going maybe Arsenal, maybe Man United. So we'll see.
And speaking of United transfer, I think there's going to be a lot of in and outs.
Yeah, I think there'll probably be quite a few outs, I'd imagine.
Well, there already has been, really, haven't they?
Yeah, they've had quite a few that have been released. Ericsson's gone. Obviously, Johnny Evans has moved upstairs into a more of a coaching and an ambassadorial role rather, and looking after loan transfers.
Anyway,
Yeah. So we'll keep our eyes peeled on that. So there's a couple of Spurs. So you've got Kevin Danson. His loan to permanent has been made permanent. So that's around about 20 million. Same with Mattis Tell with his move from Munich to Spurs. That's loan to permanent. So that's been confirmed now. 30 million.
That'd be a good signing. That'll be good. That's a good signing. He played well.
I think so. He started. I think he started getting used to the Premier League towards the end of the season, so that was fine. And then we've got Ryan Cherky. There's a few that that we haven't quite got them in every order of club. We've not really done that. But yeah, Ryan Cherky's gone from Lyon to Man City. Fee of around 34 million. I think that's a good signing.
But they've had to do it because of their financial situation. That's why the reason why they.
Well, yeah, but that was the. Well, I don't really think they had a choice because they met the release clause. So if the release clause is met, you don't have a choice anyway.
They were trying to sell him anyway, regardless.
They were. I know that they tried to get. I think Liverpool was sniffing. A lot in the January window. I think. So yeah, and then obviously KDB. He's dogs likes KDB.
You like that? But,
yeah. So KDB has obviously left Manchester City and he's joined Napoli on loan. I still think he's got plenty left in the tank, personally.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I think he'll do right at Napoli. Lexi agrees anyway.
Lexi definitely agrees. Now, Man City have also signed Tijani Reinders from AC Milan, another midfielder, £46 million. I mean, I'm only going on what football 360 or wherever it is.com was saying in terms of the money, so that could be wrong. So that's I think that's another solid signing. I mean, you think they already signed Nico Gonzalez, so that a midfield three potentially of Reinders, Rodri, and Gonzalez. I mean, that sounds
frightening. It's frightening.
Potentially, yeah, and they've already got quite a few attacking talents. Adding, you've already got the likes of Doku there and that anyway. So. And obviously Haaland up front. So yeah, they're looking interesting. All right, then next on the list, which is an interesting one because it could mean that Robertson might well end up leaving Liverpool before the end of the window. Which
there is rumours of him leaving, going somewhere
Atletico.
In Spain or somewhere, wasn't it?
Yeah, Atletico was linked. But yeah, Miloš Kirkez from Bournemouth to Liverpool for around about 40 million. Interesting one, solid left back, natural replacement for.
Still think it's a lot of money. I still think it's a lot.
I don't know. I think he was one of the best left backs in the division.
But to be fair, you see like all the prices nowadays. It's everything's just out of this world.
It's crazy.
But look at the next one. For instance.
Adding to that, I mean, obviously that to replace Trent.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. True. Yeah.
So,
about that. Yeah. I suppose.
So obviously Trent. Real Madrid paid £10 million for an early release for Trent, so they could get him out there at the Club World Cup. But all right, they could have waited another couple of weeks and got him for free, but they wanted him to feature in the Club World Cup. And to be fair, for the amount of the 10 million they've paid, they're already making that back on the shirt sales for the number 12 Trent shirt. Yeah. So that's done. And obviously they've made loads of money in the Club World Cup as it is anyway. So but the big one. So we'll touch on that. Frimpong, obviously. So Frimpong's coming in. So it's around about 30 million. So he's coming from Bayer Leverkusen.
Signing that?
I think so. A lot of people saying that he's not particularly good defensively, but neither was Trent really.
Yeah, but he can play. He can spread himself down that side because he can. Play
right so back. I think
can play right mid. Can play right wing. So
I think he will go in as a right back.
Yeah.
So that's good signing.
He'll be a fullback, won't he?
Yeah, he'll be a right back. Yeah, right wing back. It depends how Slot's going to play really, but. Yeah, either way, he'll be there on the right. So, but the big one, Florian Wirtz, 116 million.
Fantastic signing that.
I really do. I really like him. I think he, creatively. I mean, I've seen him play for Bayer Leverkusen, and I've seen him play, obviously, in the German national team, and I like him. I like his spatial awareness. I think he really, he opens up the pitch. His vision's great. He's got a goal in him. I think that's an absolute class signing. I can't for the life of me understand why, a Madrid, Man City, or anyone else hadn't really made that kind of move. He's young and all.
To me, it reminds me a bit of like a Lipman when he was at Liverpool. He's a bit
that kind of link player. It'd be interesting to see how he kind of fits in as well.
I think it'll take a while.
Two solid midfielders been behind him, and then him maybe tucked in behind a striker. I think that works. So, and then another one for Liverpool, which is Giorgio Mamadashvili, which is the Georgian goalkeeper. That the deal with Valencia was agreed over a year ago or so.
He's decent as well.
And he stayed out there at Valencia, obviously, because they had Kevin Kelleher at the time. So as backup to Alisson. So he's going to give Alisson a real chance, a real sort of like push for that number 1 jersey. And I know what you're going to say with Kevin Kelleher, because obviously he's left and gone to Brentford. So
great signing for Brentford, that. And that's a bargain.
So around about 18 million quid, give or take.
Is that with add-ons though?
I'm not sure.
I think
don't know. It didn't really say.
I'm sure it was like 13.
one, it was 23 million, give or take. So
yeah.
And another big one, which I think shocked a few people, because although people had seen him play in the Premier League, they certainly didn't think this transfer would have been on the cards, which is Dean Huijsens from Bournemouth, who's gone to Real Madrid for 50 million. And obviously he is despite the fact that he sounds sort of like English stroke Dutch with the name, he's actually a Spanish international. So, so obviously moving to Real Madrid, they needed another centre back anyway.
That's great money for Bournemouth.
That's massive money. That's massive money for Bournemouth. I mean,
and Kirkheads as well.
I know. That's a lot of money. I know. Yeah, you have to replace the player.
Bournemouth are very clever, though. They're very clever.
They're very clever. They're good with their recruitment. They've got good owners. So, yeah, it'd be interesting to see that. Now, this is one. I hope I get this name right, because it's a bit of a tongue twister, which is Charalampos Kostalas. I don't know him. I've never heard of him.
And if anyone is watching this, that's that short I put up. I was unsure on who was. I've never seen him play.
Yeah, but apparently he's a good player. We did have a comment, I believe, on that.
And we did have a comment who Olympiacos
he's a good player.
Saying he's a great player.
And so that's around about, I think, 29 million.
Yeah.
So that's all. That's all the major transfers. There's a couple that I've noted, because I don't really know much about them, which is Alex Brainer, who's gone from Villarreal to Atletico for 38 million. Now, I mean, that's a lot of money, so I don't know anything about him. We'll research that up and we'll have a look at that.
Yeah, I'll have to have a look
now,
at
of course, we'll be coming back and doing more transfer episodes, because obviously the window's open until September, so we will be covering more. And then another one, joining Real Madrid, which is like a winger stroke 10, which is Franco Mastrotano. Now, I don't really know hardly anything about him at all, but I know he's quick, he can play on the wing, can play forward. So, I've noticed those down as ones to watch.
Yeah, and there's also a couple of free agents out there. Dominic Calvert-Lewin.
So that's an interesting one.
Just see where he goes, and Vardy.
Yeah, I mean, you could. Vardy, whether or not he takes a role in the Premier League, or whether he decides to call an end to it, I don't know. But
there's a couple of transfers I've seen today. Rumours: Danny Ings to Wrexham, and it was the other one to Wrexham. Another one, Stuart Armstrong, to Wrexham as well.
Yeah, so, I mean, you'd expect in the Championship, you'd expect them to spend.
But former Prem players, though.
Yeah, you'd expect Birmingham to spend as well. So, both of those have obviously good backing with American owners. So it'd be interesting to see.
That's an idea for another one, for another part.
Yeah, and obviously,
Championship.
I don't know if I mentioned him, but Ryan Ait-Nouri, obviously he's gone from Wolves to City. City have struggled a little bit with left backs in the last year or so. They kind of like dabbled with having Gvardiol sort of pitching in there. Ake's pitched in there, but both of them are centre backs by nature. So
it's ever since Cancelo went, isn't it? It's ever since that.
Yeah, so I mean, Cancelo was signed as a right back initially, but obviously he played left because they had Kyle Walker. So I and in the pre-season games, it's a bit odd for me, but they've been playing. Who's the fellow they signed from Wolves for 50 million? The midfielder, Matthias, was it? Matthias Nunes. So he's been playing in a lot of the friendlies and in Club World Cup. He's been actually playing at right back, which is bizarre. So obviously,
he's a midfielder, isn't he?
No, he's a forward.
He's a forward. Yeah,
he can play off the wing.
I thought he was attacking mid. I did.
Yeah, he is basically. So Pep's decided to throw him in there, but So maybe they're going to go out and sign, fullbacks as well. Who knows?
Possibly, yeah. Wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So
Who,
yeah,
though.
that's all the major sort of confirmed transfers as it is. And obviously, if once a lot more transfers happen, we'll come back and we'll do another little episode like this again.
And one other thing as well. I know it's football related. It's like Lyon as well. Hearts go out to them because obviously they're a massive club, and all this financial trouble they're having is devastating for football.
Being kicked down. I mean, there's ramifications to that as well in terms of Palace as well. So obviously, John Textor, who is a majority shareholder at Crystal Palace, he owns a controlling stake in Lyon as well.
Yeah.
So I believe to enable Palace to, because initially he was going to put his shares up for sale for Palace, but obviously 43% of the club or whatever it is he owns, it's not that easy to shift that. I don't think he has that kind of level of controlling stake as much in Lyon, and obviously with the problems Lyon are having, apparently he's looking at resigning from his position at Lyon, which then should enable Palace to be able to play in Europe. So yeah,
and that's going to be heartbreaking if they don't.
Yeah, and then no, I don't know. I'll just double check quickly because I don't know if it's been confirmed today. But they're looking at signing a player. It was around about the £40 million mark. I don't think it has gone through and had been confirmed. And I think it kind of got lost a little bit with the shocking news about Jota. Well, there we go. That's one that's just popped up 11 minutes ago. So this is live as it speaks. Dortmund confirmed Chelsea have agreed a deal for Gittins. So that's
signing him. Chelsea,
yeah, Jamie Bino Gittins. I think that's a very, very good signing. Obviously, we need cover. We didn't sign Sancho on a permanent. You'd expect Sterling's going to be leaving, so we needed cover for that left side, and that's predominantly where he plays. So we're estimating the cost to be between 52 and 55 million. It's not completely confirmed, but that's reports that are coming out of Dortmund. Obviously, things have to be agreed between the player and the club as well in terms of wages, etc., and a payment structure. So that's not confirmed, but I think we know that one was kind of likely to happen anyway.
Yeah, and there is I've just looked as well. Textor has resigned from Lyon. That was the 30th of June. He resigned.
So he has resigned from Lyon.
So Lyon.
So that should in
help
theory,
push Palace into Europe now, hopefully.
Yeah, that should in theory help Palace. I will just double check quickly before we finish up.
I think he's done that. I think because if he did that, I don't think Lyon won't get relegated. I don't think.
Yeah, so all it says here, it's not confirmed,
league, I think.
But Crystal Palace have reached a £47 million agreement to sign Usman Diomede, 21 from Sporting. There's potential that he could be coming in as a replacement for Mark Guéhi. I know, obviously, January transfer window, Guéhi was close to leaving with agreements with a couple of clubs. I know that Newcastle were looking at it. A few other clubs were looking at it as well.
And there is rumours of Eze going as well to Arsenal, so that could be another way.
Yeah, potentially. I mean, again. So I mean, obviously, he's a centre back. If he doesn't go, Guéhi, then you've got a great centre back, potentially a great centre back pairing anyway. But again, once we get confirmation of that will be included in the next episode.
Yes, and
so there we go.
I think that kind of wraps it up then for this.
It does wrap it up. So this is the new format. It's short, it's sweet. We're going to kind of keep things to a maximum of about 20 minutes, and we don't want to bore your tits off. And that's the way the new format's going to work. So that is the TFP #2 episode talking about current confirmed transfers. If you want to get in contact with the show, please do. You can get in contact via email at talkfootball@pdc@gmail.com, or you can, as you can see at the bottom of the screen, there's the link tree which gets you to all of our socials, and
you can contact us on TikTok as well via messages on TikTok if you need.
Anything. Any which way you want to do it.
Any social media platform, reach out. Come and get on the show. We're urging you to get on. Any club, doesn't matter. Any club, grassroots, anything. Doesn't matter.
Exactly. Doesn't matter if you run a kids 5-a-side team. If you want to come on, promote your team, we're going to be having guests on from all sorts. So
And it even's like I've been doing a church football team that are just starting, and they've only just started doing some friendlies. So anything. This is what I mean. Anything, even
This
if
is it.
like
Playing at one of our favourite
yeah.
grounds at Mikolova.
And if you're in the London area and Hodge's got time off and you want him to come to one of your friendlies or etc., you can always ask him and he'll come and vlog it. Anything like that.
This is it.
Don't mind.
I can even come down with my little microphone, and we can even sit down and have a chat. If you're not able to do it like this through here, I can always come and pop my little gimbal down, pop the camera on us with our microphone.
Live pod,
and we can do a little live episode and talk to you remotely, and come out to you and that. So yeah, thank you for joining us on this short and sweet new format episode, and we'll see you on the next one.
We'll see you on the next one, and rest in peace, Jota.
Yeah, R.I.P. Jota. Thoughts go out to everyone involved with Liverpool and his family once again.